Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a look at something probably on the minds of quite a few of you, getting that first academic article published.
Yeah, it's a big hurdle, isn't it?
It really is. And for this deep dive, we've got some great material sourced directly from the Academic Practice's Instagram account.
Oh, right. I saw that seminar notes from Professors Erdogan Kos and Shihan Shobanolu.
Exactly. Tried and tested tips, they say. Designed to, smooth out that journey a bit.
Which is definitely needed. I mean, publishing can feel like a black box sometimes, especially first time around.
Totally. So these notes seem like a practical guide aiming to cut through some of that complexity.
From start to finish, yeah.
Yeah.
Finding the idea, dealing with reviewers, all that stuff.
That's the plan. So our mission here is to really pull out the key takeaways from these seminar notes, give you a clearer roadmap. Okay, let's dive in.
Where do we start? Finding that killer angle, I guess, and the right journal.
Exactly. The notes are really strong on this. You can't just rehash stuff everyone already knows.
No Me Too research. You need something that makes reviewers sit up and go, huh, okay, that's actually interesting. A real contribution.
And they suggest a way to find that moment. Reading indexed journals like SSCI ones.
Right, the Science Citation Index and Social Sciences Citation Index.
Yeah.
Seeing what's getting published there helps you understand the current conversations.
And critically, how people are writing, how they frame their arguments, spotting the gaps,
Yeah, learning the style, the standard, and it helps you see where there's, space for something new.
Okay, here's a really interesting bit. The notes say multidisciplinary studies. They're getting more popular.
Crossing boundaries between fields.
Yeah, like it's seen as innovative. They even float the idea of getting a co-author from a totally different discipline to, boost the paper.
That's a smart strategic move. Makes sense. And speaking of strategy, they talk about picking the journal itself.
Oh, yeah, the practical side.
You've got to look at the numbers, right? Acceptance rates, rejection rates, how many articles they actually publish.
And that crucial one, how long does it take? Time to publication.
Definitely. And for first-timers, they kind of suggest maybe starting with journals with lower impact factors.
Because they might be a bit easier to get into. Higher acceptance, maybe?
Sometimes, yeah. It's about building momentum, getting that first one out there. Okay, so you've got your idea, maybe a journal target. What about actually writing the thing?
Right, crafting the article. The notes make this really sharp distinction. Avoid just describing stuff.
No descriptive literature reviews that just list who said what.
Exactly. They want argumentative literature. You need to show how different findings relate, similarities, differences, build a case.
Because journals want contributions, right? They want you to engage with the debate, not just summarize it. You got to push the conversation forward somehow.
And the writing itself needs to be fluent, coherent, logical flow.
Oh, and this is a big one they flagged. Grammar. Grammatical errors.
Can kill it instantly.
Apparently, yes. Like immediate rejection. Doesn't matter how good the idea is if the writing isn't clean. It signals carelessness, maybe.
Wow, okay. High stakes. They also mentioned the first, 4 or 5 pages?
Yeah, critical. They need to be excellent.
Why those specifically? First impressions?
Pretty much. Reviewers form opinions fast. If the start is weak, they might read the rest with a negative filter already on.
Makes sense. And then there's the analysis. Got to be rigorous.
Absolutely. And you need the tools. They mentioned software like Smart PLS, Python R, Stata, SPSS.
So quantitative stuff, and MAXQDA for qualitative. So knowing your software is key.
Definitely. And they had a point about quantitative work. Avoid super simple analyses, like just one variable.
Why is that? Why is the variable count so important?
Well, generally looking at how multiple variables interact shows a deeper, more complex understanding. You can uncover more nuanced relationships. A single variable analysis might just seem, a bit basic for a journal article.
Okay, so more complexity often means a stronger contribution. Got it. And they have that tip about scales, too. Use the best scale.
Yeah, the one that measures the most accurately with the fewest questions. Efficiency.
Right, less burden on whoever you're surveying or interviewing.
Exactly. And it might let you squeeze in more concepts without making your study unwieldy.
Okay, so analysis done. Now connecting the findings. The notes say you must relate findings back to theory.
Yes. Don't just dump the data. If we connect this to the bigger picture, linking to theory is how you show your work matters in the grand scheme of your field.
How it speaks to the existing knowledge base.
Precisely. And that leads into the conclusion section. They were super clear. It's not just a summary.
Right. It's where you bang the drum for your study's contribution. What's new? What did you add?
That's the core message. And supporting that, you need good citations. Reputable studies, well-known ones.
And up-to-date ones, right? Like last 5 years if possible.
Ideally, yeah. Shows you're engaged with the current state of play.
Okay, almost there. The final hurdle. Reviewers.
The peer review process. Fun times.
Oh, the notes say, respond point by point to every single comment or critique.
Even the ones you disagree with. You have to address everything.
And always start your response letter with a thank you.
Basic courtesy, but it sets the right tone. Shows you're taking their input seriously, professionally.
So let's try and wrap this up. What does it all mean? We've gone from finding that wow topic,
Picking the right journal strategically,
crafting an argumentative piece, not just descriptive,
nailing the analysis, using the right tools,
connecting it all back to theory, writing a punchy conclusion.
and finally, navigating those reviewer comments politely and thoroughly. All distilled from those academic practices seminar notes.
It really paints a picture of academic writing as, well, a whole process.
It's definitely a blend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strategic planning, rigorous work, careful writing, and then navigating the whole publication system. It's not just about having a good idea.
So for you listening, think about these points. Which one kind of resonates most right now? Or maybe which feels like the biggest challenge ahead?
Yeah, and maybe a final thought just based on all this.
Yeah.
Considering how much emphasis these tips put on specific steps, the right angle, the right journal stats, the response letters, how does this whole process itself, the mechanics of getting published, actually shape the kind of knowledge that ends up getting produced and shared in academia?